Hi everyone, hope everybody out there is being safe and looking after themselves in this time. I feel a bit silly actually doing an update on my health when we have half the country under flood and people losing items and everything. So please, if you're my friend and you're up there, look after yourselves and your family. We can replace your items, but we can't replace you. So please take care. And I'm really, my heart goes out to you guys, and I'm really sorry to hear that you're all being flooded and stuff. It's awful. So like, I feel a bit stupid doing, because I'm sitting here in Melbourne in the stinking heat with the fan going, just minding my own business on the computer, and you guys are like suffering. So also, if there's anyone out there that finds any of my videos triggering, please just stop watching and get some help, because I don't want to be the responsible person for making you unwell mentally. All right, so basically I've been sitting here happily doing my own thing for the last week. I've gone back to school and I was doing legal and ethical responsibilities with professional boundaries. Yeah, it's as boring as it sounds, mate. Anyhow, I was just minding my own business, doing my own thing. I booked in for my Novavax on Friday with the pharmacy around the corner. And yesterday I sent off an email to both my doctor and my neurologist and said, listen, I'm going to go and get the Novavax on Friday. Is that something I should be able to be doing on the medications that I'm receiving? So I heard nothing back. And then this morning I've just received an email. It's a bit distressing actually, from my neurologist saying that basically they're unsure at the moment if I have a TBI or an ABI, which is an acquired brain injury. An ABI is an acquired brain injury, and a TBI is a traumatic brain injury. So encephalitis can cause some things. So basically his email's rambling on, which is amazing because I thought he was just a dick, and very little information has been given to me from him. Most of it's come from my GP. So for me to get an email from the clinic is just mind-blowing. Anyway, just saying things like you have been diagnosed with encephalitis, and you may require following updates, and that are basically okay to have the Novavax, but to go through my GP and make sure she's okay with it. And then he's put a link here to a health conditions, medical health conditions, so things for me to be look out for with encephalitis, which most people who know me know that I've already researched the shit out of it, but some of it's actually starting to make a bit more sense. So the suggestion has been that there's nothing that they can do like to check whether I've got a brain injury, because they've done scans and stuff and there's been swelling on the brain. So we know there's swelling on the brain. We know I've been diagnosed with encephalitis, not meningitis or whatever it is, or anything like that. So it's definitely encephalitis. So we've got to now make sure that I'm not suffering from serious side effects from that, which, like I said, pretty distressing when I was reading it, because a lot of it I have started to seeing with me. So I'll just give a quick read about what's going on, and and then just discuss that quickly, because I don't want to have everyone here all day dealing with my dramas. So it says okay, so let's start at the start. Might be the easiest way. Most people are diagnosed with severe encephalitis will experience complications. Complications resulting from encephalitis can include loss of memory. That's what I got. Behaviour and personality changes. Epilepsy, fatigue, physical weakness. Well, I think I already had that, but we won't go there. Intellectual disability, lack of muscle coordination, vision problems, hearing problems. Well, I don't have any of those now. I did have some vision problems before Ash took me to the hospital, but they've all gone now. And I can hear a pin drop a mile away, so hearing isn't an issue. Speaking issues, right, well, that sort of hit a bit of a bone because I've actually watched myself back on the YouTube and went, why do I sound like a dick? Like, yeah, my speech has definitely suffered. Coma. I just sleep heavily. I don't think it's a coma. Breathing difficulties. Yes, have that all the time. Shortness of breath. But I just put that down to drugs, so I'm not really worried about that. And death. Well, I'm not dead yet. So, that's for people who are older. Well, obviously me. People who have had coma-like symptoms. Well, yeah, that was because of the sedation. And people who didn't get treatment right away. Well, there was 5 days there where I didn't get treatment. So we can sort of say that they are severe reactions. It says the outlook will depend on the severity of the inflammation. In mild cases of encephalitis, the inflammation will likely resolve itself in a few days. No. For people who have severe cases, you may require weeks or months to get better. Some of them can cause permanent brain damage and even death. Right, so definitely severe. And we're six months now down the track. When was it? September. Yeah, so we're 6 months down the track. And I'm still having some of these symptoms. Now, I just put that down to the amount of drugs and things that I was on. But now it's seeming more and more like I do have some sort of brain damage to some degree. So, it says people with encephalitis will experience paralysis. No, I'm not saying that. Loss of brain function. You could have a bit of that. And problems with speech, behaviour, memory, and balance. Well, the balance one's the only one I haven't noticed. Have all the others. So where do we go now? So where we go now is I might need more therapy. So speech therapy and psychotherapy. So speech therapy to help relearn the muscle control. So I have noticed with my speech that I just put it down to wearing a mask all the time and that it was muffled and stuff like that. But I am actually a bit slurry on my words and I'm very difficult to understand, especially when I'm working in aged care and, you know, the oldies that have hearing issues. I'm just mumbling. They can't hear shit with a mask on. So, and the type of language I'm using, I wasn't an intellectual by any means, but I wasn't Shazza from Houseos like I am now. So there's definitely some tactile and some, language issues happening there with my speech. And that's brain connectivity shit. So intellectually I'm thinking, but verbally I'm just speaking like a Westie. So I think I need to speak to a speech... See what I'm saying? I need to speak to a speech pathologist and get some speech therapy happening. As far as the psychological therapy, I do need to have some, because it's saying here I need to have coping strategies considering my mood disorders and my personality changes. And like I talked to you in the last video, there is some personality changes happening. I can't find what type of personality changes they're talking about. I have noticed a lot of personality changes. I'm not as tolerant anymore. Maybe I'm just an old grumpy old woman. I don't know. but I'm not as tolerant. I'm not as loving. As far as the kids are concerned, I'm definitely not as empathetic as I used to be. I used to be a lot more empathetic to people. Now I've just zero empathy and zero tolerance to people. So they tell me their problems. I'm like, yeah, get over it. Fucking move on. Like, that's just not me. And especially where my children are concerned. Like, I feel like I've lost that motherly instinct that I used to have. And if you spoke to my family, my kids and my other half, they'd definitely tell you that I'm not the person I used to be. So I think I have to get some help. So I have rang and made an appointment with my doctor, and that's not until next week. And although the neurologist has said, yeah, no worries with the Novavax, and I can't get an appointment with my doctor until next Monday, I just like, I might just put it off, because I don't know that I want all that anxiety and bullshit that goes along with that, because that's really, really, yeah, that's it. Like I said, it's really anxiety inducing. And then I don't want to be getting help or having drugs, masks, any other encephalitis flare up that I might get from having the Novavax. Yeah, we've talked ad nauseum about that, so I'm a bit over it. But yeah, Ash and I have discussed, because I obviously can't recognise it. It happened so fast the last time that there was no warning. The only people that can pick it up are the people that are around me. And it happened like that. So for me to acknowledge and realise that I'm having an allergic reaction to something with encephalitis is concerned, that's not an option. I don't have that capacity. So yeah, so I've cancelled my appointment. I'm going to wait and speak to my GP, because I have a lot of trust and faith in her. And if she says, yeah, go ahead, no drama, and I'll be ringing you, whatever, make sure Ash is aware of these points, then we should be pretty right. But yeah, and then I'm going to be asking her for a referral to a speech pathologist and a psychologist, because, yeah, and I'll be asking her the questions too, is if it's a trauma-induced brain injury or whether it's permanent. How do I know? Like, is it going to be a temporary type thing? Am I going to get some memory back? Am I going to get my personality going to come back? Or am I just going to be a bitch for the rest of my life? That's basically, so I'll be talking to her about that. We did put down a lot of these issues with the drugs, because the drugs that I'm on, especially the anesthesia medication, that causes personality shifts, because it tries to keep you at a sort of certain level. So not to put too much stress on my brain, and so chemically it keeps you sort of stable, but on the lower end of stable, not on the higher end of stable. So we'd have put all that down to that, but now it's looking like maybe it's a side effect from long-term encephalitis. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. So I'm trying to keep it together, man. I'm trying really hard to keep it together, because I've been in tears all morning. But like I said, I can just keep thinking, look, there's poor bastards out there that are worse off than me right now. So, and I do feel a bit better now. I've had a bit of a verbally got it out and had a bit of a stand back and look at things and go, okay, right, well, could be worse. So when I first got it, it was just like doom and gloom. Now I've had I've been able to reflect and have a bit of a look. So I'm feeling a bit better about it. So if anything, this video has made me feel a bit better about myself today. So there you go. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you. I've got rest of this schoolwork to do. Like I said, everybody up in the Queensland and New South Wales, please stay safe. My love goes out to you. Wish I could help you out more, but I can't. But yeah, please all stay safe up there, and I will be looking at you hopefully next Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or whenever I can get me jab and go right and fine. All right, love ya. See ya.